Hi, I'm Saverio from HoRNet Plugins. We are here because we want to show you how to use our MultiComp Plus compressor with the Reaper using a parallel compression technique. The parallel compression technique is very useful when you mix drums if you want to keep more space and more fatness of the drums. It basically consists in taking the full mix of the drums and feeding it to a compressor and then back into the mix. So you have two tracks that plays the same thing, compressed differently, one very squashed, that mixed together create more heavier sound, something that fill the spaces in the mix and gives the complete mix, the complete drum mix, more excitement. There are many ways to achieve this technique. We are going to use Reaper for this example, and we are going to use one of the features of the MultiComp Plus, that is the dry-wet knob. With the dry-wet, you actually can mix the dry signal, so in this case the mixed drum bass without compression, with a compressed signal, actually creating a parallel compression effect. We could have used two basses, one with a regular drum mix, and the other one with a send and the MultiComp Plus on that. But why use complicated routing if we have a dry-wet knob? So I'm gonna use my earphones because we're going to mix, and I'll show you how this technique is achieved. I have prepared a quick mix of a drum loop using our Track Shaper plugin. Here is how it sounds without the parallel compression on. Okay, it sounds quite good, but as you have listened, the kick and snare are quite short. They doesn't transmit much power. We want to achieve a more powerful effect. To do this, we are going to use this parallel compression technique. The first thing we are going to do is to bus all the tracks together into one group. To do this, we create a new track and then move all the drum tracks inside of it. So we create a folder. Here it is. We can name it eventually. Now we add to our effects the MultiComp Plus compressor, and we choose the FAT compressor. This is usually used for this technique because it can really squash the sound because of the very short attack. It drastically reduces the transients and lets you create a more squashed sound with a more body for the drums. We use a 21 ratio, very short attack, and a slightly longer release because if we use the default short release, we're gonna introduce some distortion. It's not quite beautiful. So with the dry-wet knob turned to 100%, we can have a listen to the squashed sound we want to put down below our regular mix. Okay, the effect is quite obvious. We completely squash the snare. We remove any transient and concentrate on the room, on the sound of the body of the snare. So if we now use our dry-wet knob and we put some of the dry signal in, we're gonna achieve the effect we are after. Let's start with the 50%. This is the final result. If you use the bypass button here, we can listen to the difference without using the parallel compression and using it. Let's have a listen. Okay, we have a drop in volume. We didn't compensate that. We'll use a very useful feature from the MultiComp Plus. It's the auto gain feature that will set the input and output gain for us. Just let the loop run for once. And you see that it's setting the gain for us. It should be quite fine. Okay, it's stable, so we can disable it. It's clear how different sound, the drum and the snare in particular. We now have more body, more presence, the mix is fuller, it's definitely a better sound. So if you want to use parallel compression to spice up your drums, MultiComp Plus is a perfect tool thanks to the dry-wet knob and the input-output auto gain setting. You can try out the demo of the MultiComp Plus on www.HoRNetPlugins.com. So go there, download it and let us know what you think about it. Thank you for watching.